Hey, welcome to Faith Life Now. We're Gary and Dorinda Cassie. We're so glad you're with us today. Listen, would your life change if you went from $5,000 a year to $200,000 a year in 12 months? I bet it would. But how did that happen? I want to find out how that happened. Our guest today had that happen. We're going to listen to their story in just a minute.
Yes, we realize there's some tough things going on in the financial community and in the economy, and people are worried about things. But we're going to show you today how you can rise above the economy in every situation.
Hey, welcome to Faith Life Now. We are excited to have our guest with us today. We're talking about life and how money flows. We need money, of course, you know that. But I want to just welcome our guest right now. I want to welcome David Johnson, CEO of Epiphany Marketing and Business Consultant, Marketing Consultant. David,
thank you.
It's just awesome to have you with us.
It's just an honor to be here. I appreciate it very much.
Great to have you back.
And Mike and Stacy Healy, business owners.
Hi.
And we're glad to have you here. So awesome to have you. And the story we mentioned at the beginning of the show was your story.
Now, from what I understand, you were living in government housing, right?
Yes.
Government housing. Tell us what it was like when you were in that situation. What was going on?
We were married for 8 years and we were still living in apartments, which, most people wouldn't think that bad, but we were just struggling financially to just get the bills paid.
I'll tell you how bad. We were in such poverty that to save money, Stacy canceled our $13 a month trash pickup service and was putting trash in the trunk of our car, and I didn't know it.
That's a huge change. So tell us a little bit, what happened?
Well, you know what? I actually started going to church and started to really believe that God was real. That kind of helped first and foremost. That was kind of nice.
That's a good start.
Yeah, it was a good start, I figured. And I was really impressed with a lot of stuff that you were teaching. And it just, as a person who was trying to start a business, something just kind of went off inside of me. I was like, man, if I'd heard your story, and I was like, if he can do it, I know I can, because it was almost exactly where I was at.
Icons.
And we just started to pursue some of the things, and we actually saw little things begin to work.
David, tell us about it. What's actually happening, and why do so many people hesitate or fail to actually capture what he's saying with that mindset change?
Well, I like what I'm hearing you say, because in your situation, you went from dire straits to believing that something is possible. And Gary, that's what I think is got to be step one. We have got to come to a place where we accept the fact that God has not only a solution to our situation, but a way to propel us forward into a new future that involves us reaching our destiny. And today is the day where God is really encouraging people to believe that something is possible. There are solutions. There are ways out.
There are solutions. I want to just mention a story in the Bible. We're going to keep this story kind of rotating through here. But, Peter had taxes to pay in Matthew 17. He went to Jesus, and he told him about the problem. I need money. And Jesus said, go catch a fish. And in the fish's mouth, you're going to find a gold coin and pay your taxes. A lot of people, if I said, okay, you need to catch some money, they just stare at you. They're like, well, they're not hiring. They're not hiring, Gary. We mean catch money. In our experience, God gave us a dream. We started a business. That dream produced the money to get out of debt. And then what you're saying in your experience, you had a business, but God began to change it, and things began to change in your mindset. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely, in a big way.
Big way.
Everything began to change. I started it just felt like I was being led to listen to things that I hadn't listened to before.
God into your business, really. You brought him into your life. You brought him into every part of your life.
Right.
Yes.
Your business life.
So you already had businesses, and they were failing.
Yes.
But you started changing that. Now, an interesting thing, God directs us. When we come to him for money, he doesn't have any money. There's no money in heaven. Look at any piece of money, there's an earthly kingdom stamped on it. So it means you have to capture it or produce wealth. That's the power that we have on the inside, David.
That's exactly right. What we find is that God has put in all of us gifts and talents, and those are there to deliver value in the marketplace, and that value can be exchanged for what we need.
Yeah.
And it is possible for anyone listening today, anyone, to do what we're talking about doing.
Okay, hold that thought. I want to come back to that anyone, because I don't know if everyone believes that they're an anyone. Mike and Stacy, you guys worked out in the gym like every day.
Yeah, we like to work
through
out.
this process.
Yep.
And on the poster board, you saw a contest for whoever got in the best shape over a period of time, and you engaged that.
It was 4 months after I had my last child, and I wanted to get in shape, and I thought, I need a reward at the end of this rainbow. So I started to prepare myself for the commitment that it was going to take.
Okay, I want to stop.
Yes.
You said to yourself, I can do that. That is powerful.
What was the reward of it then?
The reward was a 2003 50th anniversary Corvette, which was very nice to win.
You test the principles of God. You believe something. You work for it. You want people to know this is what God did. It's a glory to Him, right? Something I'm hearing in both of you is confident expectation. You had, because of your connection with God, even though you're living in government housing, things are tough, tight finances, you still had your dreams there, and with your connection with God, you had a confident expectation that if you made the right, commitment to it, you said, and you put forth the effort, that there was a reward coming.
And that's a powerful principle, because you're talking about setting your eye on the prize.
Right.
Jesus endured the cross and the shame
for the
joy
yes.
that was set before him.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think is really powerful, the reward, maybe somebody's reward today might just be paying the bills on time. That way, this was a contest that involved you doing and engaging in the natural realm, as well as engaging the supernatural.
Yeah. Now, since then, you started many businesses. You've done many, and now you're doing motivational speaking at corporations because of what you've learned through all these situations.
The income went up, a couple $100,000 a year, but also tell me the giving. How about giving? I know that in your story that was a big part of it.
Well, this is real. I think this is a very important factor. Is that there's the practical side, and then there's who am I going to put my trust in? Am I really going to believe God, or am I not going to believe God?
That's good.
And what was funny is I had worked parking lot duty during, just volunteering at the church because I enjoyed doing something there after coming out of the bar business, still looking to make money, and we were just still getting by. And we sewed a van. We actually gave away a minivan. It wasn't really worth a lot, but it was a lot to us at the time. And what was amazing is right after that was exactly when this contest showed up.
Good principle.
And I didn't even think about it at the time until we drove off with this Corvette that we had actually sewn a vehicle that was not even worth
in the
close
Bible.
To that.
Bread multiplied to bread, oil multiplied to bread, fish multiplied to fish. You sewed a car, you needed a car, and you had a car.
And God has something He's training you for today is preparing you for something He has for you tomorrow. And so if you don't say yes to, if Jesus said, go cast your nets over there, and they said, but Lord, we've fished all night and caught nothing. Many people say that. They make an excuse, they stop there. But He said, nevertheless, Lord, because you said to do it, I'll go try my business again. I'll go do this new thing. We'll give our van away. We'll change some things. And because He did, He caught this great harvest of fish. Then He went on to become a fisher of men. Amen. And you've gone on to do greater things. Yes. You've started many businesses. And so have you, David. We've gone on to do things that we never dreamed we would do. But had we have not said yes to the initial things that God asked of us, had we not been looking for opportunity and walking through those doors, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today.
Well, Dorinda, I think that you had, once you have that first experience with the kingdom, that, oh my, you see that car? Come here, look at that car. We want the car. When you have that, you guys must have been like, this is like a dream.
We were absolutely stunned, and what it taught me from that initial instance was more priceless than that price of getting that vehicle.
That's what it always is.
Because that principle of learning that, of the sowing and reaping and the being diligent, had taken everything we did from that point, and I was like, I found exactly what I needed. Yeah. And we've moved on from that point again and again and again.
Same principles, just different.
Same principles. And it's just amazing. You can have the same kind of results we're having in our lives through the kingdom, not because of who we are necessarily, but through the kingdom's direction and God helping us. So we'll be right back with that kind of information for you. Yes. David, talk to us for a minute. People hear these types of stories and they think, I can't see myself there. Just briefly, just talk to someone out there today that's needing that. We have about a minute here to talk about that for this next break.
Absolutely. God has placed in you everything that you need. The Bible is very clear that all that we need is in the kingdom, and the kingdom of God is within you. And so it really doesn't matter what the obstacles look like that you're facing today. You have what it takes. What we need to begin with is just simply to say, God, I want you to show me the opportunities that exist right here in front of me. You guys sewed a van.
Yes.
That was an opportunity that you had. And at the time, you weren't even thinking about reaping, but you did. And this is the thing, that God has put some things in you that you have the ability to turn around and reap from if you'll sow them and if you'll share what God's put inside you.
That's fantastic. And we want to thank you for joining us today. It's been a privilege to have you with us and hear your great stories. And we'll see you next time.